So as expected, Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman's Santa Inc. is still continuing to be shat all over. For obvious reasons, and I would say rightly so. You've now got the Rotten Tomatoes audience score sitting at 3%. Because it's shit. That's why. That's the reason. So if only they would take the hint and realise that we don't want what you're selling. I don't know how many times it's got to be repeated. But of course it's never the piss poor product that's the problem. It's always everybody else. Because the Hollywood elitist ego can't handle criticism. And even looking at the YouTube trailer now, the dislikes are still rising, with 105,000 dislikes to 3,000 likes. Again, I'll give you a nudge. Take the hint. But no, as always, it's those Nazi white supremacists that magically appear whenever Hollywood needs an excuse or someone to blame. They just pop up out of thin air. I don't know where they come from. Narnia? Is that where they're coming from? Because according to Seth Rogen, he says, we really pissed off tens of thousands of white supremacists with our new show, Santa Inc. Because oh yeah, I've got my cloak and hood on the bed, pressed and ready for tonight's Klan rally, you fucking dipshit. But either way, you're a white supremacist, at least according to Seth Rogen. Because his opinion really matters. But that's fine, Seth. See if that's what you need people to be. If that helps you sleep at night, if that helps you, cope, then so be it. Just keep saying that shit. Because it doesn't mean nothing to anybody. As if the label white supremacist actually means anything anymore. Because it just doesn't. Because it's another one of these words that gets chucked about. And just applied to everybody. Just applied to people that disagree with him. And even Sarah Silverman came in to collect on her Victimhood dollars. She says, now that elf is now a new code for Jews. So now she's trying to invent this thing where now when you say elf, you mean Jew. Well, me personally, I say exactly what I mean. But she says, now that elf is now a new code for Jews, please enjoy all the codes for anti-Semitic shite on the web. I won't put a trigger warning on it since it's just Jew hatred. People seem okay with it. Which I find funny because you seem okay with basically your trailer saying white man bad. You seem pretty okay with that. Could it be that you're a hypocritical bitch? Is that what it is? Most definitely, yes. That's what it is. But that's what... She's been trying to become a victim for ages. That's just her mentality. She's desperate to be a victim. It's a sickness. Just this desperation. Just to... Oh, well, I want to be a victim. I want to go higher up the ladder in my victimhood. Because she's just a sad, pathetic loser. That's the only reason why she's like that. Pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. But this is what the audience had to say. Normally, I like Seth Rogen comedy and laugh. I watched the whole thing and kind of just thought, what was this? It was not funny. It was not even a little funny. It was just how can we shock people with all sorts of extreme comments? And that was the issue with it. It's like Seth Rogen seems to think that an elf saying, let's get some fucking kids some fucking presents. He somehow thinks that's comedy. He seems to be stuck in, 2002. It's like, you need to update your shit, Seth. But Seth Rogen's one of these guys that thinks you should be held accountable for past jokes. He's one of these guys that's quite happy with, the whole cancel culture going on. I think that was the plan. How could it not be after watching this? Not remotely religious, but I generally enjoy a little bit of use of my time and not this junk. Before this came out, I thought it was incredibly out of touch and seemed like it would bomb. After seeing the YouTube ratio of 2.4k likes to over 100k dislikes, it made me feel like I'd judged this movie correctly. I like to give things a fair shot most of the time, and while I was very tempted to just pass this one off, I was quite happy to pass it off. Because I knew exactly what it was going to be. I felt like I should still give it a chance. It's fine. You didn't have to. You didn't have to. As it turns out, I was wrong. It's as terrible as I and everyone else thought it would be. Save your time, it's terrible. Worst movie TV show of the year. I thought I was going to give that award to the new Cowboy Bebop, and the new Cowboy Bebop is shit. But just when I was thinking they'd won, Santa Inc. swooped in and decimated the competition. Generally a fan of Rogen and Silverman, but this show is a lazy attempt. Humour is limited to hearing elves and Santa curse, because again, Seth Rogen stuck in 2002. He thinks that's edgy. Nothing edgy about it. Saw it at a friend's house, confirms my decision to not get HBO ever. You did it to yourselves, HBO. You did it to yourselves. Just remember that. But I think it was obvious what this TV series was going to be. It was just identity politics, feminism. That's all it was. And like most people keep saying, if you keep doing this, you create shit. That's just the way it goes. It's like, what have you seen that like pushes this stuff and it's been good? There ain't nothing. I can't think of anything that's been good when that has been their main objective. Because I do think it was made to piss people off on purpose. I think that's why Seth Rogen did it. Because he's obviously got a stick up his arse about Christians, for whatever reason that is. I'm not a Christian anyway, so that doesn't really apply to me. But I think that's what it was about. And it was just about, oh, let's just make white people look bad again. Because you've seen it in the trailer, where you've got that fucking stupid Sarah Silverman saying, like, oh, it's a long line of white men. That's crazy. How is that crazy? How is that crazy? So when it comes to Seth Rogen saying stuff like this, it doesn't mean shit. It's like, yeah, whatever. Just cope. That's what you need to do. All this is just to discredit people. We see it with almost every film, although it's sort of changed with the critics lately. I don't know what's happened in that regard, but the critics seem to be turning on them. They seem to be turning on their masters. So I don't know what all that's about. But what we see with everything, whether it's Captain Marvel or like Black Panther, it's always this defense. If you criticize it, it's like, well, oh, you're a white supremacist, racist bigot. But yeah, Hollywood's insane. I don't think there's anyone that's going to deny that at this point. But that's all I've got to say on that anyway. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.